Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Rebel Racing Network and the National Outlaw Racing Association ARCA Series making their return after their inaugural season provided a captivating show marked by a dominant regular season performance and a playoff upset that set the standard for drama. The series is boasting a field of 31 registered drivers this season, including 12 new rookies. We want to take a moment to talk about the avenging regular season king. Vincent Isabella was the story of the regular season, dominating with 5 wins, but his title hopes faded in the playoffs. He is entering season 2 with a clear goal: redemption. We're going to see if he can maintain his blinding regular season speed, surpass his previous win total, and seal the deal in the final races to claim the championship trophy that eluded him last season. And we're also going to talk about our unexpected champion. Sean Merriman came out of nowhere to pull off the ultimate shock in Season 1, navigating the playoffs to steal the championship. He proved that consistency and timely performance in the final stretch is what mattered most. The pressure is now on him to prove his title wasn't a fluke, and we're going to be glued to him all season to see if Merriman can if Merriman's clutch factor can carry him to a repeat title. And then we also want to talk about our freshman class. We have 12 confirmed rookies that are poised to make their mark here this season. The ARCA Series is often where future Cup stars are born. Will a rookie sensation come out of nowhere to challenge the established veterans and take the championship, much like Merriman did with the title surprise last year? Only time will tell. But we are coming to you live with a non-points race from Daytona International Speedway. A big change up from last night where we saw the Cup Series drivers tackle the LA Coliseum in a caution-filled race that did not disappoint with drama. We saw Joseph Truskowski race his way through the heat races, through the consolation races, making absolutely zero friends out there, only to lead the most laps during the feature event and to be spun on the last lap, and Seth LaCroix comes out of nowhere to take the Outlaw Clash trophy home this season. Now we talked to Joseph Truskowski after the race, and he was very unapologetic about the way he raced. He said he is here to win, and you better get out of his way, folks. We are still waiting on him to make his appearance here in the ARCA Series. We talked to him last night. He said he would be back, but he has yet to register. But we do have Seth LaCroix, last night's winner, also joining the ARCA Series and sporting a very fancy paint scheme, if I do say myself. That is the Rebel Racing Network car. Glad to have Seth LaCroix on board the Rebel Racing team. We have James Warts rooting for the 6 and the 29. Once again, those are the Apex Racing guys. We saw them with a very strong performance last night. They are looking to carry it over into the ARCA Series. Time is winding down in practice. Only 9 minutes left for these drivers to get registered and get some practice laps in. And once again, this will be a 75-lap race tonight. The weather, it is a nice, cool 79 degrees Fahrenheit, not too much wind. It is partly cloudy out, and the humidity currently sitting at 66%. Excellent conditions for us to go racing here in Daytona. And we're going to see how these drivers, a lot of drivers coming over from the Cup Series to race this one. We're going to see how they handle one of the biggest tracks in NASCAR after tackling the smallest track. We We have Squadron A's entering the chat room for the 12, 17, and the 7. That is Ryan Mack, Hunter Geyer, and Jackson Sibley. They are all rookies making their ARCA Series debut tonight. And tonight will be a true test of nerve and drafting ability, promising a chaotic, unpredictable finish that anyone in the 31 car field has a shot at winning. We saw a bunch of chaos last night at the short track, and I do not expect it to be any different here at the Super Speedway. Current look at our leaderboard. Ethan Straub in the 13 car, sitting atop the leaderboard with a time of 48.03. Vincent Isabella in second with a time of 48.06. I'm sorry, Ethan Straub had a 48.003, 6/100ths faster than anyone else. Vincent Isabella, though, we've seen him dominate throughout the regular season. I would expect to see him up front all night tonight. We have Mike Kinda Drives entering the chat saying it's going to be a good one. I love to see the new faces, guys. I am glad to have y'all here. All right, Mike said last night's race was a knife fight. I guess, yeah, that is an accurate way of describing it there, Mike. I do believe that Jonathan Wiley said he was showing up to tonight in a full body cast after the beating he took last night. I'm sure many other drivers feel the same. Currently looking at this, our last season's defending champion, Sean Merriman, taking the track for his first laps of practice. And we are still awaiting the arrival of Joseph Truskowski here tonight. I've not seen him enter the room yet. But he does like to show up late, and he likes to show up with a bang. And once again, next Sunday night, the Cup Series will be here at Daytona as well for their first points race of the season. Sean Merriman with a time of 52.01. Without that draft, we can see just how important the draft is going to be here tonight. A total of 4 seconds separating the 18 from the 13. And we see a lot of drivers when it comes to Talladega and Daytona like to hang out in the back and try and avoid the mayhem. But if you lose the draft here tonight with this many cars, we are looking at about 30 cars going to be on track tonight. That energy will, the pack is going to pull away from these drivers if they try and hang back. We'll be keeping an eye on strategy to see who's going to hang back and who's going to get up in the pack and race tonight. Currently looking at the 24 of Jonathan Wiley Pulling down off the track, going to tow that car back to the pit. He took a beating last night, but he is currently sitting in 5th atop the leaderboard. As time is winding down in practice, we are going to head down trackside for our opening ceremonies presented by URA Flyovers. At this time, please stand as you are able, remove your hats, place your hand over your heart, and veterans render a hand salute as the United States Marine Corps Band performs our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare of upbursting air gave proof to the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
All right, and a big thank you to URA Flyovers for those opening ceremonies. A beautiful flyover featuring the F-18s flying over the virtual Daytona Daytona Super Speedway and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Make sure you go check out URA Flyovers on Facebook if you are a league owner, a broadcaster, or just a league racer who wants to bring a little something extra to their broadcasts. All flyovers are custom made and will be stamped with the broadcaster or the league logo. We have Craig Lazenby now entering the chat, rooting for Thomas Adams as these drivers are starting their qualifying runs. Currently looking at Dave Stinson. He was a factor last season. Takes the track for his qualifying run. All right, folks, and I have just been informed Joseph Truskowski has made the show. He has made his last-minute entrance like always. All right, Maniac Mechanic, only because I asked nicely. I'm not sure what you're referring to there, Maniac. All right, and we're looking at that 57 of Joseph Truskowski now making his way out onto the track. These are the first laps he has turned. We're going to see how he does in qualifying. Joseph Truskowski, the center of drama last night, non-apologetic in his interview, and I would expect to see the same tonight. You see him keeping it there, glued to the bottom. These times are starting to roll in here. Joseph Truskowski with his first lap, good enough to take 13th, but I know he's not going to want to settle for that. We have Omar Rodriguez taking the pole right now. Connor Price now coming to his stop as he has completed his run. Jonathan Wiley cracking the top 3 there. All right, B. Cray, we are happy to have the Cup drivers here to support the ARCA boys. Jonathan Wiley showing just how steep of banking that is. He brings that car to a stop and it starts sliding down the track. Joseph Truskowski finishing his qualifying run. Time good enough to take 11th here. We see Vincent Isabella completing his qualifying run. I'm sorry, that was Vincent Isabella's first lap. He still has one more to go. And Vincent Isabella with that time going to take second place away. But we have our guest broadcaster from last night, Preston Shepard, taking the pole here. Only John Anthony still on track qualifying. He has just finished up his run. Casey Flowers also making his way onto the track to qualify. B. Cray saying his car felt good last night, but the track was tight. I tell you what, B. Cray, that track was looked extremely tight in those close quarters. Now, it doesn't matter how good your car feels because you guys were beating and banging all last night. Casey Flowers crossing the line. Time good enough to take 16th. Looks like that will complete everyone's qualifying round. Terrell Wheeler, Alex Finney, Tanner Witt, Cameron Crosson, and Sean Merriman opting not to qualify here. They will have to start from the rear tonight. All right, and just an update on the rules tonight, guys. These drivers will be given 3 sets of tires and 70% fuel, as well as 1 quick repair to complete the race tonight. With that 70% fuel, the pit window is looking like it is going to be about 20 to 25 laps, depending on how well you can save fuel in the draft. So these drivers will need 2 to 3 pit stops to make it to the end here on fuel. All right, and with that, qualifying is complete. We are going to go ahead and run through our official starting grid as these drivers are making their way down to pit road. And taking the pole tonight will be Preston Shepard, driver of the 52 machine. His outside will be the 3 of Vincent Isabella. Omar Rodriguez Jr. will be starting in 3rd place, driving the 92 Chevrolet. In 4th, we have Connor Price, driver of the 48 machine. Rolling off 5th will be Craig Peterson, driving the 53 Ford. Wesley Lynch will start to his outside in the 33 Chevrolet. Jonathan Wiley will be rolling off 7th in the 24 machine. In 8th, we have Seth LaCroix, last night's winner, driving the 29 Ford. Brandon McGraw will start 9th, driving the 00 to his outside. And 10th will be the 16 of Joshua Hyatt. In 11th, we have Travis Neiman, driving the number 20. Starting in 12th will be the 91 of Steven Linger. And in 13th, we have Mr. Popular, Joseph Truskowski, driving the 57 Chevrolet. His outside will be the 17 of Hunter Geyer. John Anthony will be rolling off 15th in the 42 machine. In 16th, we have the 11 of Casey Flowers. Rolling off 17th will be the 28 of Dave Stinson. Here in 18th, we have the 79 of George Chamopoulos. I'm sorry, George. I asked you about it before the race. I still can't pronounce your name. Rolling off 19th will be the 13 of Ethan Straub. And 20th will be the 7 of Jackson Sibley. Rolling off 21st will be Chris Jones driving the number 6. In 22nd, we have Jonathan Foxworth driving the number 1. And rolling off 23rd will be the 12 of Ryan Mack. Thomas Adams, driver of the 64 Aaron's Dream Machine, will be rolling off in 24th. In 25th, we have Chris C., driver of the 420 Ford. In 27th, we have Colton Kinney, driver of the number 8 machine. In 28th will be Sean Merriman in the 18 car. Rolling off 29th will be Terrell Wheeler, driver of the 43. In trouble already on the front stretch. Rolling off 30th will be Alex Finney, driver of the 80 machine. Tanner Witt will start 31st, driver of the 88. And rolling off 32nd, rounding out your field, will be Cameron Cresson, driver of the 81 machine. So already some issues for these guys as they go down the back stretch. We're going to see if that's going to carry over to the main event. And the green flag is out. I apologize. It looks like they are going to extend the parade lap. While they do that, we're going to go see what happened here with Sean Merriman. Looks like just a bunch up. Let's go back and take one more look at that. Just a bunch up there in the back, causing mayhem before the green flag even starts. We have Irene LaCroix on Facebook rooting for Seth LaCroix. Caleb Ramsey also joining us on Facebook rooting for Jonathan Wiley. Jeremy Schaefer on YouTube rooting for the 64 of Thomas Adams. And Joshua Edmonds rooting for the Apex Racing team. And the pace car is off. Preston Shepard in charge of this one. He is your pole sitter. Green flag is out. We are racing, folks. The NORA ARCA Series is back as they head down into turn 1 side by side. We saw that top line. The first 3 cars got a good start, and it looks like everyone else wanted to get down low, but a couple of drivers who started in the back trying to make their way back up to the front here. They've got to link up quick, otherwise that bottom line is going to get the energy. Be able to pull out ahead. Preston Shepard currently sitting in the lead now. And he's going to get left out to dry by Omar Rodriguez, being pushed by his teammate Seth LaCroix, both members of the Apex Racing team. Vincent Isabella going to follow suit as Vincent trying to make a move, but Seth LaCroix is there. The 48 of Connor Price now cracking the top 5. Preston Shepard, our pole sitter, the big loser there, he has fallen 4 positions back to 5th. And Carol Kabeski on Facebook. Watcher, glad to have you back, Carol. Because they've got it sorted out. Single file here up front. Back in the pack, though, they are still too wide. As we have already seen 2 packs form here. About 20 cars in that first pack, another 10 behind them. As we see Thomas Adams coming off a pit road. Issues already for that 64 Aaron's Dream Machine. As he will fall a lap down here. We see Vincent Isabella making a move to the outside, trying to get to the lead. Preston Shepard now behind that 79 machine. Those Apex Racing guys, Omar Rodriguez and Seth LaCroix, though, hanging on to the top 2 positions. As Vincent Isabella is now able to get to the leader. Vincent Isabella getting a nose out in front now. And we are going to step aside for a Creative Castle Crank It Up. All right, and we are back. Carol, these cars averaging about roughly 200 miles per hour for these guys. They're just shy of it. One thing you could notice during that Crank It Up session, you could hear these drivers just burping the gas, trying not to get into the guy in front of them as they make their way around this one. It looks like we have a story developing. Joseph Truskowski has had to pit early in this one. Currently sitting in 32nd. He has lost 19 positions from the start of this one. And it looks like he had to tow back to the pits. He's going to need a caution to try and get back in this one. But he is 3 laps down. Thomas Adams, though, he pitted early as well. Only 1 lap down. Is in position for the lucky dog. And Elemental Father, he's a little bit late to the show, but he is here. Glad to have you here, Father. Preston Shepard is now your race leader. Omar Rodriguez in second. Seth LaCroix in third. LaCroix and Rodriguez, they have been linked up since the start of this one. I think those two are going to be a problem for whoever's in the lead at the end of this one. We now have, looks like 2 packs developed, and then at the very end, you have 4 cars working together, just trying to stay out of trouble here. But we are 10 laps through the scheduled 75. No cautions yet, other than that incident on the parade lap. That outside line kind of dissolved a little bit. Everyone getting down, trying to get down low. With only 1 quick repair in 75 laps, you have to use that quick repair wisely. And some of those cars in the back probably already used, or already thinking about using theirs. So we see the 6 getting into the outside wall. And it's Chris Jones back there. 2 taps with the outside wall, the 32 behind him. Stuck up there, nowhere to go. 6 tries to draft back up to the 11 of Casey Flowers. We now have Wesley Lynch battling for the lead, a rookie here in that 33. Average Joe's Racing. Once again, Average Joe's Racing is the sister team of Apex Racing. So if he needs it, he's going to have some buddies there behind him with Seth LaCroix and Omar Rodriguez. He will pull down, and Wesley Lynch will pull down in front of Preston Shepard. Seeing an incident with Ethan Straub. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened to Straub here. Back here in this pack of 4. Looks like he blinked out for a second, just got turned by someone. He's going to keep that car off of the wall and get it back going. As Joseph Truskowski going to fall another lap down. Truskowski now will be able to link up with one of these cars once he pulls back up on track and catch the draft. Should not fall another lap down. But 4 laps down, as clean as they're racing, he might be in the hot seat right now. He's going to need at least 5 cautions. As that top line's starting to get more developed, trying to make a run up to the front here. Looking back at Joseph Truskowski. Able to find one friend out there. Just trying to keep pace, not fall any further a lap down. Ethan Straub, after his incident, he is also being scored a lap down. As we go back to the front of the pack, Preston Shepard backing off of Wesley Lynch, trying to get some air over that nose, get that engine temperature cooled down. That's going to give Joshua Hyatt a chance to try and gain some ground on him. Joshua Hyatt, the driver of the 16, the leader of that outside line. Mike talked about Preston Shepard hanging tough up front. Yes, he is. These cars will have lap traffic to contend with here, as we saw a move from Vincent Isabella. He goes from high to low, trying to gain some ground there. Looks like he is thinking about making a third line there, but 17 laps into this one, that pit window is getting ready to open up here. As Thomas Adams falling another lap down, he's stuck there on the high side. He needs to find a place to tuck in. Oh, and a big bobble out back. Looks like Steven Linger way out of line down there on the apron. That will shake things up here. We are still green. Everyone able to keep it straight. Now 18 laps in the books. Only 2 laps till that pit window is opening up. I would imagine everyone here trying to save a little bit of fuel. Stretch out this pit window as long as they can. That pit strategy going to be important here. And I tell you what, watching these guys last season, the team that I'm looking out for on pit road is that Apex Racing team. Seth LaCroix and Omar Rodriguez, they have stuck together throughout this one. We've seen Seth LaCroix very quick on pit road last season. I would expect the same from him here tonight. If he can get his teammate to go with him and be just as quick, they can link up, get back in out on the track, and they may be able to run away with this one a little bit. Carol saying, great coverage. I appreciate it, Carol. We've been able to bring some new features to this broadcast. One of the features being our intro music presented by Tate Productions. And those tunes you heard at the beginning of this one were created by the Apex Apex Racing Team's own Dawson Price. Big thank you and shout out to him. They are now getting ready to come up on the lap traffic of Ethan Straub. Wesley Lynch still in charge of this one. This is going to get interesting when they do decide to pit, especially if they have to come under green, and we're seeing a couple of them now. Wesley Lynch, Preston Shepard, Chris Champopoulos, Jonathan Wiley, John Anthony, Chris Jones, Stephen Linger, Dave Stinson, among the many that headed down pit road. You see Preston Shepard and Wesley Lynch coming off together. They're going to try and link up and get right back up to the front as we head back to the pack. Even more pit stops. Vincent Isabella coming down pit road. Brandon McGraw, Tanner Witt, Casey Flowers, Hunter Geyer making their way down pit road as well. Seth LaCroix and Omar Rodriguez staying out, as well as Connor Price. Connor Price, another new addition to that Apex Racing team. So these teammates staying out, trying to stick together. They've gotten broken up here. As it does appear the rest of the field has pitted. That Apex Racing team still staying out. Chris Champopoulos hanging out there with the leaders. He has fallen a lap down, as well as Colton Kinney, who is now a lap down. These four cars are going to link up, trying to stretch out this pit window. If they can stretch it out to lap 25, they could get this done on just 2 pit stops. And here comes that Apex Racing team coming down pit road together. They're going to try and maintain this lead. We take a look at Preston Shepard, Wesley Lynch, and Vincent Isabella working together, try and take the lead back. We've now seen a breakup of the massive pack. Head back, look at it. Omar Rodriguez going to make his way off pit road. Seth LaCroix going to get out in front of him. Does not look like they were fast enough on pit road to stay in front of the leaders, though. Caution, caution is out. Looks like Dave Stinson and Joseph Truskowski involved in this one. We're going to go back, see what happened here. And massive damage for that 28 of Dave Stinson. Look at it one more time. Keep your eye on that 28 just in front of that 57 of Joseph Truskowski. Looks like Joseph trying to give him a push there. Hit him in the wrong spot and sends him up into the wall. Massive damage to that 28 car. So with that, Seth LaCroix will be your leader. Omar Rodriguez in second. Connor Price in third. Preston Shepard in fourth. Wesley Lynch there in fifth. Yes, Carol's asking about a bump over on Facebook. Looks like Truskowski was just trying to bump draft him and caught him in the wrong spot. And just the slightest bump there, you can lose control of your car here at these high speeds. And that is going to bunch the field back up. And that caution comes out on lap 25. It'll be interesting to see if these guys are going to short pit and just try and gas and go to try and get back on the same pit strategy as Seth LaCroix and that Apex Racing team. Lee LaCroix, 4 laps down, and he is still racing dirty. All right, and it looks like everyone going to come down pit road as Seth LaCroix leads them down pit road. Everyone going to gas and go. Seth LaCroix has the advantage here, being the leader, and that he was able to stretch that out for 2 more laps than the rest of the field. A couple of cars going around here trying to get laps back. Mike agreeing with Lee. I tell you what, guys, Joseph Truskowski, even if he is 4 laps down, he is so hungry to prove that he belongs up front. He will race you the same as if he was on the lead lap. So it does appear Joshua Hyatt did stay out there. And he will be our new race leader. Seth LaCroix goes to second. Omar Rodriguez in third. Vincent Isabella in fourth. Wesley Lynch in fifth. Cody Sanderson in sixth. Preston Shepard in seventh. Jonathan Wiley in eighth. Stephen Linger in ninth. John Anthony in 10th, rounding out your top 10. That's going to break up that Apex Racing team. We're going to see if they can find each other and link back up and try and make another run to the front. We are going to step aside for a quick commercial break.
It's race day on iRacing. The grid is set. Engines are rumbling. The chat is buzzing. The anticipation is building. But before the green flag waves, you need a moment that gets hearts racing. Hoorah Flyovers delivers cinematic, custom airplane flyovers for your iRacing or esports event, bringing real-world energy to your virtual track. Add a patriotic punch to your pre-race show, whether you're hosting a league championship, a memorial race, or just want to hype the crowd. Hoorah brings the thunder. Fully customizable, easy to book, stream ready, guaranteed to get your drivers and fans fired up. Because when the jets fly, everyone pays attention. Stand tall. Fly loud. Race proud. Hoorah! Visit Hoorah Flyovers on Discord or Facebook and bring the flyover experience to iRacing like never before.
All right, we are back, folks. It looks like Seth LaCroix may have gotten a black flag there. He has dropped back to 18th. So speeding on pit road for that 29 machine as he drops to the back of the pack. Not what he wanted. He and Omar Rodriguez. I wonder if there's a little bit of strategy there. You know, we'll go to the back of the pack, avoid the mayhem, and still be linked up to make a run at the end of this one. And being at the back of the pack, they can just let these cars pull them around with the draft, able to save a little bit of extra fuel Because even with these pit windows being at 25 laps, you know, that does not account for if we have overtime. So Seth LaCroix and that Apex Racing team trying to stretch out this field as long as they can and taking maybe what could be a smart penalty at the end of this one. And the pace car is off. Joshua Hyatt in charge of the restart here. They come down the front stretch. Green flag is out. Joshua Hyatt going to take off. He's overextending himself. And James, the 6, is currently sitting on pit road. That is Chris Jones sitting on pit road. Some issues for that 6 car. As Vincent Isabella has been able to catch back up to Joshua Hyatt. And bottom line, though, getting a good run. We see the 33 of Wesley Lynch from Average Joe's Racing. Now linking up with Isabella. See Wesley Lynch with an aggressive move to jump to the high side. He's got a pusher with Preston Shepard. He may get Joshua Hyatt here. We see Vincent Isabella down low here at the back of the pack. Some trouble for that 79. Not sure what happened with the 79 here. Go back, try and take a look, see what happened. We saw Vincent Isabella pushing from that second place position on the low line, and he is just off the pace. Gonna bring it down to a rest on the backstretch and jump to the pits. I think Vincent Isabella may have just blown his engine. It's Wesley Lynch, now your race leader, Preston Shepard in second. They made their way back up to the front of the pack. As these top 2 cars trying to pull away from the pack here a little bit. They have been dominant throughout this one. You look back to see where Omar Rodriguez and Seth LaCroix sit. They're currently sitting 20th and 22nd. Hanging out in the back, trying to avoid any issues. And a look at a hard charger of the race, Chris Chemopoulos. And at 420. Oh, trouble. Saw an Apex guy high in the air. Bringing out the yellow flag here. That was Omar Rodriguez flying through the air there. Some major damage to that 92 machine. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened here. He goes for a wild ride. It looks like some net code between Omar Rodriguez and Dave Stinson. We're going to ride along with him. Riding along with Omar Rodriguez as he goes end over end. That will bring out our second caution of the night. He limps that car back to pit road. He can't see anything out of it because the hood is in the windscreen. As pit stops have started, it looks like everyone is going to opt to head down pit road. Wesley Lynch leading them down pit road. Andy in the chat on YouTube rooting for Wesley Lynch tonight. It looks like Preston Shepard gonna win the race off pit road here. And 3 cars stay out. Chris Chimopoulos, Connor Price, and Casey Flowers all opt to stay out here, not wanting to shake up their pit strategy. It's all taking place on lap 35. Still gonna have to pit one more time, but now they can stretch it out. They still have some fuel saved in case this turns into a green-white checkered. The way everyone is getting more aggressive as this race goes on, that is a good possibility that we may get some overtime tonight. We had 3 overtimes last night at the LA Coliseum. It brought us some of the most exciting racing we have seen here on the Rebel Racing Network. Real quick, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break.
At FedUps, we don't care how it gets there, just that it eventually does. We use cutting-edge technology like guesswork, blind rage, and the occasional coin flip. Need help? Our customer service is standing by to put you on hold. Our drivers are trained professionals in rage quitting, road rage, and minor parkour. Have an issue? Hey, we delivered it, didn't we? At FedUp, we're not happy until you're not happy. Special instructions? I ignored it specifically. Signature required? We'll scribble something. Fragile? Let's test that theory. Customer service? Try screaming into the void. FedUp, we hate your package almost as much as you do.
FedUps is not responsible for damaged, late, lost, or completely incinerated packages. Batteries not included. Actually, nothing's included.
All right, and we are back, folks. Lights on the pace car are out. They're getting doubled up. Chris Chimopoulos will lead us back to the green flag. They make their way down the back stretch. We have Done Dirty in the chat, rooting for Average Joe, saying he is parked for the night. I do believe Done Dirty is the 6 of Chris Jones. Opie in the chat wanting to know where Chrissy Poo is. unfortunate night for Chris Jones there. As they make their way off of turn 4, we're getting ready to go back racing here, folks. Green flag is out. Chris Tremopoulos leading them down. We see Preston Shepard getting knocked out of line there early. Tremopoulos not overextending himself and pulling away from the pack there. He has help from Casey Flowers. Preston Shepard getting out of that out of line on the top line. Check that top line up. As the 48 of Connor Price waits for help. That help is there, but Casey Flowers going to jump up to that top line and try and make a run for the lead. But here comes Wesley Lynch. Wesley Lynch pushing Tremopoulos now. Here we have Steven Linger, driver of the 91 machine. We haven't talked about him much tonight, but here he is, cracking the top 5 for the first time tonight. Sitting there in third on the low line. Wesley Lynch looking for an opportunity to get around Tremopoulos. A quick update on that last caution. Omar Rodriguez Jr. back out on track, currently sitting in 22nd. An Apex Racing team has been broken up now. Omar Rodriguez back to 24th. Seth LaCroix climbing. He is in 9th. Connor Price sitting back there in 10th. They are trying to link back up. Wesley Lynch continuing to push Tremopoulos around the track. Oh, he gets into Tremopoulos. Tremopoulos almost loses it there. Goes down to the apron. Now he's stuck on the inside. No help for that 420 car. That is going to allow Steven Linger to head to the front of the pack as the caution flag waves for the 3rd time tonight. We see Preston Shepard just going across the track. Mayhem ensuing back there. That 52 car heavily damaged. We'll take one more look at it, folks. A tough break for that 52. We have some shakeups up front now. Steven Linger in first. Ryan Mack, first time we've mentioned him tonight, sitting in second. Wesley Lynch in third. Alex Finney, a new face up front, in fourth. And Chris Tremopoulos making his way to fifth. Alex Finney currently in the running for the hard charger tonight, up 26 positions. Starting all the way back in 30th as we wait to see what the pit strategy is going to be here. We have just passed halfway. And James, yes, it is an exciting race here at the NORA ARCA and Cup Series. They never to fail to disappoint when they put on a show. Stephen Linger going to opt to drive by pit road. Wesley Lynch will lead them down pit road. Chris Chamopoulos as well. Casey Flowers, Seth LaCroix, Jonathan Wiley, Tanner Witt, Cameron Cresson, Travis Neiman, all opting to come down pit road. So here we have some varying pit strategies. There's about half the field going to opt to pit here. 9 cars elect to stay out. So that pit strategy could come into play if this race stays green to the end. But we are past halfway now. Time is winding down. I'm expecting to see these drivers get more aggressive as the night goes on. Do not count on this staying green to the end, folks. We are going to step away for a quick commercial break.
From the track to the tech, Creative Castle keeps your code running as clean as your laps. We test real-world devices and digital platforms so your next release won't crash in turn 1. At Creative Castle, we elevate your software with expert quality assurance and cross-platform testing. Whether it's native apps or networked hardware, we deliver precision-tested performance at scale. Behind every smooth app and smart device is a quiet castle. Creative Castle. We're the quality wizards and test knights who battle bugs and break bad code before it breaks your product. Creative Castle. Quality at full throttle. Your quest for quality ends here.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are about to get the 1-to-go signal. Stephen Linger will be in charge of this one. Ryan Mack will be starting to his outside. And Wesley Lynch entering the chat saying off-center pushing got us loose. And Wesley, I am currently looking at the scoreboard. You're sitting back there in 16th texting and driving. Don't do that, buddy, especially here at Daytona. And Wesley Lynch saying checkers or wreckers. If you're going to text and drive, Wesley, it's more than likely going to be wreckers. Here at the Rebel Racing Network, we do not condone texting and driving of any sort. All right, they are coming down the front stretch. Pace car getting ready to dive off. Stephen Linger once again in charge of this one. His first time in the lead position. Pace car is off as they come down the front stretch. Green flag is out. At 80 of Alex Finney trying to give Linger a push, but it is the 12 of Ryan Mack getting the push to the front with the help of the 42 of John Anthony. Or the 32 of John Anthony. He will show up as the 42 on your scoreboard. And looky who is making his way up to the front of the pack now. The defending champion, the 18 of Sean Merriman, cracking the top 10 after starting in the rear. He is up to 7th. Terrell Wheeler as well in that 43 car. Your top 6 here are all the drivers who opted to not qualify and start from the rear tonight. So that strategy working out for these guys. We now have 44 laps in the books. We are past halfway, folks. And here comes that 29 of Seth LaCroix making his way back to the front. That is the 48 of Connor Price, another one of his teammates in front of him. We were speaking with them before the race, and they have been practicing, working on the draft. Trouble, the 80 goes up into the wall. Alex Finney in the wall there. And it looks like he caught Connor Price as well. That'll bring out our 4th caution of the night. We're going to go back and take a look at it. Just coming across the 48 snows. We're going to take one more look at that, folks. It looked like maybe just a bad push by Connor Price. Yep, a bad push. Connor Price gets the 80 out of shape. 80 goes to the middle lane, tries to go back to the high side, but Connor Price was there. All right, and there's a little disclaimer from Done Dirty. He tried to crash he crashed while trying to stream the race. And Done Dirty, the stream has been up. I've been covering tonight's event since practice. You had all night to get that stream up. Why would you do it trying to get into the race? Is that what happened on the parade lap? Pit stops are getting ready to start here. Ryan Mack going to stay out. John Anthony coming down pit road. Stephen Linger, Jonathan Wiley, Joshua Highwood, Tanner Witt, Colton Kinney, Preston Shepard, Hunter Geyer, Cameron Crisson, Casey Flowers, and Brandon McGraw all making their way down pit road. It looks like John Anthony won the race off of pit road. So some more shakeups up front. Ryan Mack is your leader for the time being. Terrell Wheeler in second. Defending champion Sean Merriman in third. Seth LaCroix in fourth. Greg Peterson in fifth. This is hit. We haven't talked about him much tonight. He started in fifth and is back up to the top 5. Omar Rodriguez Jr. in sixth. Connor Price in seventh. John Anthony in eighth. Stephen Linger in ninth. And Alex Finney rounding out your top 10. So another big shakeup up front. We currently have 20 cars out on track. Everyone else trying to get some damage taken care of here. We're going to step away for a quick commercial break.
Do you love Orlando's theme parks, but the long lines have you losing the magic? Introducing Ride Waits, the Apple Watch app designed to help you skip the stress and ride more, with real-time wait times and park info right on your wrist. Whether you're exploring Walt Disney World, adventuring through Universal Orlando, or taking it all in at SeaWorld, Ride Waits helps you navigate smarter and get the most out of your visit. No more wandering, no more guessing, just more riding. And it's not just wait times. Ride Waits also offers tips on the best times to ride, general park info, and helpful alerts so you never miss out on your favorite attraction. Whether you're planning ahead or making game day decisions in the park, Ride Waits keeps everything you need at a quick glance away. Ride Waits, your wrist-side guide to the best parks in Orlando. Available now on the Apple Watch store.
Not affiliated with or endorsed by any theme park brand.
All right, and we are back, folks. They are doubled up. The lights on the pace car are out. They make their way down the back stretch. Quick update on the race. We are currently approaching lap 50. There will be 49 laps complete when this race goes back green flag. Ryan Mack is your leader. 4 cautions tonight, consisting of 12 laps, and we have only had 8 lead changes tonight. And the pace car is off. Ryan Mack will lead them to the green flag. Green flag is out. Ryan Mack going to take off. Terrell Wheeler caught sleeping on that outside line. Ryan Mack and Sean Merriman overextending themselves. That top line has a chance to get back to him. Terrell Wheeler has a great pusher behind him, Seth LaCroix. And look who is linked up back with Seth LaCroix, Omar Rodriguez Jr. Looks like most drivers are going to opt to try and get down low. Seth all over that bumper, back bumper of the 43 of Terrell Wheeler. And a little bit too much there as Terrell Wheeler gets sideways, causing a shakeup. Not sure who he hit. That might have been Craig Peterson. And it was Craig Peterson gets tapped by Terrell Wheeler, and he is falling fast. We're going right back to the front of the pack, though. Terrell Wheeler able to hang on to that third place position. But Seth LaCroix now leading that top line. And he has help from behind. I just got to point out what a save by Terrell Wheeler there. Seth LaCroix was pushing him as hard as he could, just hit him in the wrong spot. Terrell Wheeler gets sideways, able to save it. We stay green as we are now down to 25 laps to go. Top line now developed, able to challenge the leaders. Seth LaCroix gets a nose out to the lead. He's going to move down to the bottom, and he's going to bring Omar Rodriguez with him. As Omar Rodriguez comes up the track, Rodriguez goes around, bringing out our second caution of the night. I do believe that is going to end Rodriguez's night. See him get sideways. He collects Cody Sanderson, Sean Merriman, and a large number of drivers. Steven Linger caught up in that. Brandon McGraw. Just a few. The 48 of Connor Price. A lot of beat up race cars here, folks. Brandon McGraw with some major damage, smoke pouring out of the back of that car. He has already used a quick repair here. That will end his night. As Seth LaCroix is now your race leader. I believe this is his first time up front. Ryan Mack now in second. Here in third, we have the 28 of Tanner Witt. Or I'm sorry, the 88 of Tanner Witt up 28 positions from 31st. He has went from the outhouse to the penthouse here. Making his way up to the front of the pack late in this one. Folks, that caution came out on lap 52. So now we could possibly see pit stops here. Everyone could make it to the end as long as we do not get a green-white checkered finish with overtime. We'll see if anyone opts for pit road here. Seth LaCroix going to come down pit road. Looks like Cody Sanderson going to stay out. I think he caught a piece of that wreck too, but he's going to stay out here. Because it looks like most everyone else going to head down pit road. Seth LaCroix will win the race off pit road. He will restart second now. Cody Sanderson taking the lead. Tanner Witt in third. John Anthony in fourth. Jonathan Wiley rounding out your top five. We will step away for one more quick commercial break.
Welcome to Rebel Racing Network, the premier destination for professional iRacing esports broadcasting. We bring the virtual track to life with high-energy race commentary that captures every pass, every pit stop, every photo finish. Our team of expert broadcasters delivers real-time analysis, strategy breakdowns, and the excitement of wheel-to-wheel racing. And before the green flag drops, we set the stage with our signature pre-race flyovers, showcasing each circuit with stunning cinematic visuals that make you feel like you're there in real life. Whether you're chasing a championship or cheering on your favorite team, Rebel Racing Network covers every story, every series, and every unforgettable moment. From grassroots leagues to top-tier championships, we bring passion, precision, and performance to every broadcast. Subscribe now, watch live, feel the rush. This is Rebel Racing Network, where the action never lifts.
All right, and we are back, folks. Mike kind of drives saying, Cody, make it a big boy call. Let's take a look at the pit strategy. See when the last time Cody Sanderson pitted. Currently has 77 laps on this run. LaCroix with only 12 on the last run. Cody Sanderson should not be able to make it to the end on just this pit stop here. For the fuel he has, he will have to pit one more time. So they are doubled up. We're getting ready to go back green flag racing here, folks. Cody Sanderson in charge of this one. Seth LaCroix to his outside. Tanner Witt in third. John Anthony in fourth. James Wart saying Apex are proven to be tonight's predators. I don't know about that. Seth LaCroix's made his way back up, but they do have a racer already out. Omar Rodriguez is going to be out of this one with some major front end damage. You see Connor Price back there in the pack. Seth LaCroix all by himself out here up front. Green flag is out. Cody Sanderson taking off. Seth LaCroix hanging right with him. They are neck and neck as they head down the front stretch towards turn one. LaCroix getting a push from John Anthony now. And you are right, Wesley Lynch creeping up towards the front. He is not an Apex racer. He is an Average Joe's racer, but that is their sister team. I would look for Wesley Lynch to try and link up with Seth LaCroix here. And maybe get some help from Connor Price if Connor Price can find himself in the right position. And look at this. Thomas Adams, after some early race trouble, had to come down pit road, get some damage taken care of, has now cracked the top 10. That Aaron's Dream Machine looking to compete tonight. He tries to keep it straight. That outside line has dissolved here. We see Wesley Lynch trying to move back to the outside, get that outside line started again. He has help from that 48 of Connor Price. We said if these two could link up, they would probably work together. And this could be dangerous, folks. If they can get someone to push them up to the front, we would have an Average Joe's racer and an two Apex Racing Team drivers. Up front, that could be a force to be reckoned with as we are down to 18 laps to go, folks. We see the 88 of Tanner Witt jumping up to that high line now, trying to get a run. Look at the front of the pack. The top three still content to ride one by one, but here comes the 23. Trying to drive his way up to the front of this one. That is the 23 of... Trying to figure out who that is. That 23 getting a push from Tanner Witt. That may actually be Jonathan Wiley in the 23. I apologize, folks. Jonathan Wiley is being shown as the 24 on the scoreboard. That is Jonathan Wiley in the 23 as he gets pushed out to the lead. Jonathan Wiley, your new leader, with some help from Tanner Witt as they work their way around Seth LaCroix. And Mike bringing up Ryan Mack, quietly coming back. Ryan Mack sitting back there in 9th place right now, trying to work his way up to the front. He is stuck on that low line, though. He needs to find a way to get up to the top. We saw the 32 of John Anthony jump up to the top to push Seth LaCroix. Is LaCroix going back to the lead here? LaCroix is back to the lead. He's going to drop back down to the low side. John Anthony in between him and his teammates. We see a bobble out of the low line there. And this could be dangerous, folks. We've got two teammates and a sister team in the top 4. Here comes Thomas Adams up to 6th, up 18 positions from where he started. Thomas Adams, his sophomore season on iRacing in total, looking to make a splash tonight. Wesley Lynch has now made his way to 2nd. He pushed John Anthony to the lead. There's Jonathan Wiley back there in 3rd. And looky here, Ryan Mack, you were just talking about him slowly making his way up to the front. He is the leader of that top line, currently back there in 5th as they are coming up on lap traffic, a heavily damaged car. That could shake things up here, folks. That is the 8 of Colton Kinney with that heavy damage. Just trying to stay out of everyone's way. They will get by him cleanly. We are down to 12 laps to go, folks. Look at that high line trying to get developed here. Ryan Mack still leading that high line. He has Seth LaCroix behind him. Seth LaCroix not pushing as hard here after he and Terrell Wheeler got tied up there. Jonathan Wiley going to jump back to the high side. Wiley trying to get a run to the front. John Anthony, though, going to hop up in front, block him. After a bump from Wiley, though, Anthony's going to head back down. Wiley to the lead. Being pushed by Ryan Mack and Seth LaCroix. Ryan Mack now jumping to the inside of Wiley. Mack to the lead. LaCroix going to get right up on Wiley's back bumper, though, trying to push him. That top line has got the momentum now. LaCroix and Connor Price going to move down as they come around to lap traffic. And we'll get by that lap traffic cleanly as we're looking at Thomas Adams in that 64 Aaron's Dream Machine, currently running 7th. We are riding along with Seth LaCroix as he battles back to the lead. He's got help from his teammate Connor Price. We've got 3 wide back in the pack. LaCroix is now your leader. Thomas Adams now leading that top line. Hoping for some help to push him up to the front. That top line has really dissolved now. Seth LaCroix is back in charge of this one. We've talked to Seth. We got to know him last season throughout the Cup and ARCA Series. He does not like the super speedways, and he has had bad luck. With 8 laps to go, we're going to see if he can get this crown jewel win here at Daytona tonight. Nubbin rooting for that 43 of Terrell Wheeler. Terrell Wheeler currently sitting back there in 8th, trying to make some moves here. As they go by the lap car of Brandon McGraw now. Now down to 7 to go. That front pack is all single file. Who's going to make the move, try and get that top line started again? You take a look at the 5 of Cody Sanderson. He is now in his pit window. Looking back at this stint for Sanderson, 22 laps on this run. He is going to have to pit sometime within probably the next 3 laps. I do not think he has been able to save enough fuel to make it here on the end. Here to the end. Here comes that 18 of Sean Merriman trying to get that top line started. He has no help. He needs Thomas Adams to get up there and give him a push, or he is going to drop fast. We go back to the front here. Carroll saying Mac attack. Mike can't choose who to root for with so many of his league mates in this one. Now 5 to go. Seth LaCroix still in charge of this one. I tell you what, Mike, I know I am supposed to be unbiased, but that paint scheme on that 29 car, I gotta root for him tonight. LaCroix getting pushed by Connor Price still. They are opening up a little bit of a gap on the pack there. These two working really well together. Is Jonathan Wiley going to try and jump up to that high line and get a run here? Corey hops up top to block Wiley. Goes back down to pick up his teammate Connor Price. Wiley, though, getting a run here on the high side, being pushed by that 88 of Tanner Witt and the 18 of Sean Merriman. We see Thomas Adams getting up into the wall. He's going to get loose, but he will keep it straight as he makes contact with Wesley Lynch. I apologize, folks. Now 3 laps to go. This is still anyone's race. I think anyone in the top 10 could take it at this point. Sean Merriman now leading that top line, looking for a push out of the 33 of Wesley Lynch. Tanner Witt going to jump up to the high side in front of Sean Merriman. That's going to open up the door for Seth LaCroix to get right on the back bumper of Jonathan Wiley. Irene LaCroix rooting for Seth. They cross the line now, 2 to go. Cody Sanderson still out there, able to make his fuel last. Sean Merriman pushing Tanner Witt out to the lead now. Sean Merriman going to go low, trying to get underneath Tanner Witt. The 33 of Wesley Lynch jumping low as well. That leaves Thomas Adams in charge of that front line. Thomas Adams, a non-factor through last season, trying to make a splash here in his his sophomore year. White flag is out. Next flag is going to end the race. Sean Merriman in control of this one. I tell you what, I may have to change my answer. I'm kind of rooting for Thomas Adams. The struggles last season, he is in the top 3, looking to get his first podium finish. Oh, he goes around. Big wreck. Sean Merriman is loose. Tanner Witt to the lead. Jonathan Wiley in second. Seth LaCroix in third. Single file now as they come to the line. Tanner Witt going to win here. Jonathan Wiley in second. Seth LaCroix takes third. Connor Price will come home in fourth. Terrell Wheeler will round out your top 5. We're going to go back, take a look, see what happened here. It looked like it all started with Thomas Adams in that 64 car. Heartbreaking for that Aaron's Dream Machine. Looks like Sean Merriman just coming up, tapping Thomas Adams, sending him up into the wall. A very tough break for him. We get ready for our interviews. Seth LaCroix burns it down there in the I'm sorry, Tanner Witt burning it down there in the infield. As we get these drivers, wait for them to get out of their cars and make their way to the booth for their interview. All right, and we will start our interview with the 29 of Seth LaCroix.
Oh.
Seth, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
I gotcha.
All right, you took home a podium, but I can hear a little bit of disappointment in your voice.
Nah, I'm not disappointed. I can never finish plate track, so to have a podium, I'm happy with it. I should have stayed in the high line. I stopped the run with coming to 2 to go, and then I gave it up to work with the 48, my teammate, and they just still ended up blowing by us. So that was unfortunate, but 2 Apex Racing top 5, so go with that.
Yeah, a good start to the season for Apex Racing. Y'all had a great start to the season in the Cup Series last night, but take me through that last lap, the wreck that happened there. What happened from your perspective?
Man, I couldn't see a lot except for the back end of Wiley's car. I was just trying to push him as hard as I could, as safe as I could, but still be aggressive. And cars just started going everywhere, and then someone's car or something hit my windshield. And luckily, my teammate, I probably would have ended up wrecked, but my teammate was right there to just push me through it and straighten me right back out, and I got a third. But it was that whole last 2 laps was. I am blown away that we actually survived as long as we did without the big one, because it was wild pushing. Everyone was zigzagging and looking for holes that aren't there, and it was fun. It was a good race.
All right, and it looked excited. You had a lot of fans in the chat. We're gonna let you get on out of here, but go ahead, give us a shout out. Anyone you want to thank tonight?
Yep, just my parents for watching. Josh, I'm not sure if Josh's parents watched tonight, but and you guys, man, you put on a great broadcast, and the league's awesome, and I look forward though to real racing starting next week for points. So can't wait.
All right, and we are looking forward to that too, buddy. We appreciate it. Have a good night. We will see you back here next Sunday night for the Cup Series, right back here at Daytona.
Yay.
All right, you could hear the excitement in Seth LaCroix's voice, but he had a good showing here tonight. We're going to see if he can carry that into the Cup Series for next week. We're going to move on to our second place finisher, Jonathan Wiley, driver of I believe it was the 23 tonight. He's showing up on the scoreboard as the 24. Jonathan, it's Austin up in the booth. You got me?
Hey, man, yeah, I got you. What's going on?
All right. Congratulations on a second place finish. Your B scored as the 24, but the paint scheme said 23. So which is it?
Yeah, on Sundays in Cup, I'm 24, and the ARCAs, I'm 23, but it's all ran out of the same league. So I have my numbers set for one, and it's going to be off for the other one.
All right. Yeah, we had a little bit of confusion tonight. I was, the 23, I don't know who the 23 is.
I'm not. This 23 is me. I don't know if there's another one or not, but.
All right, but back to the race. Congratulations on that second place finish. Take me through those last couple laps.
Well, it was first of all, thanks. I appreciate it. The race was pretty good. It was better than I thought it was gonna be for my race anyway. I know there was a few cautions that other people was getting caught up in a lot, but the racing was good. Tanner was pushing me really well, and then Seth was pushing me there pretty good at the end as well. And I didn't even know. I was telling Tanner just now, whenever Seth dropped down in front of him from where I was, I couldn't even see, or not Seth, but Sean Merriman, whenever he dropped down in front of Tanner, I didn't even know he was down there, and I was pushing Tanner into him. But overall, it was a good race. I'm happy with second. I'm glad this race wasn't for points because I didn't know how it was going to go, but it was a good little shakedown for everything.
All right, definitely exciting race to watch. We are excited for next week at Iowa. Um, you know, you and Terrell worked together to run this league. What made you choose Iowa for the season opener for the points race?
Well, we ran it early in the season last year, or last season anyway, and it ran really well. Everyone, it wasn't a total caution fest. There was a little bit of wrecks, but I think it was more everyone trying to figure out how everybody drove. But the track it races well, and it just seemed like a good one to start things out with again. I think we ran it pretty early last season, but I don't know how soon we ran it, but it was early.
All right, I'll have to look back at my stats for that one. But congratulations on a second place finish yet again. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you get on out of here?
Yeah, Terrell and Cody for helping, or Terrell for doing the league, Cody for helping and with everything he does. You guys for the broadcast, all these new guys that we got showing up. I'm glad that we filled the Cup roster for Sunday's class. We filled it. We ain't even got any more spots open, and there's only a handful or so left for ARCA. So it's good to see all these new guys in here, and hopefully everything just starts out kind of how it ended last season and rolls with some good momentum to start. Cody for all the setup help that he gives me and builds all my sets. Um, I wouldn't be fast on any open set anything if it wasn't for him. But yeah, wife and kids for watching, everyone else that's watching, you for broadcasting it. I'm looking forward to this season. I think it's gonna be fun.
All right, we appreciate it, buddy. We're looking forward to this season as well. We will see you back here next week. Have a good night, buddy.
All right, you too. We'll see you.
Thank you. All right, once again, that was Jonathan Wiley coming home second. We're going to move on to tonight's big winner, though. And that is Tanner Witt, driver of the 88 machine. Tanner, it's Austin up at the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, congratulations. You had one lap led tonight, but it was the most important lap of all. How does it feel to take the win here in the season opener?
Yeah, it's nice. You know, I ran I ran a lot of races, most of over half the season last year, and I think there were a couple times I feel like we ran well and kind of didn't get the finish we deserved. So it was nice. I know it's not for points or anything, but nice to come out here and run well and show that show that we can win races.
All right. And yes, this race is not for points, but you do have the bragging rights going into the season. Is this foreshadowing of more to come, hopefully, with wins this season?
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know how super speedways are. It's kind of a toss up, and anybody can really win these. So it'll, we'll see when we get to. I think it's Iowa next week. Who's got what, and I think I think I can run maybe top 10 this year for sure, though.
All right. Well, we will be keeping an eye on you as the season goes after a big splash here to start the season. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you get on out of here?
I just want to shout out my two Waffle Motorsports teammates, Alex Finney and Cameron Creasong. They, we kind of strategized throughout the day and kind of had a plan, and it didn't really work out for them, but I was able to capitalize. And I also want to apologize to Sean Merriman. I turned him there on the last lap. We were all getting pushed around, and you don't want to wreck anybody, so I apologize for that. But yeah.
All right. Well, we appreciate it, buddy. We will let you get out of here and start the celebration. We will see you back here next Monday night for Iowa.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Once again, that was Tanner Witt taking home the win tonight. We've got Thomas Adams now making his way to the chat saying how fun it was to race for the win at the end. Unfortunate ending. I tell you what, Thomas, I was kind of rooting for you. All the adversity last season, the learning curve, and you were looking to make a splash here in your sophomore season. We'll be looking for more to come. All right. We're going to go ahead and run through our official results. Taking home the win was Tanner Witt in second place. Jonathan Wiley. Seth LaCroix finishes third. Connor Price comes home in fourth. Terrell Wheeler in fifth. Ryan Mack finishes in sixth. Craig Peterson in seventh. Sean Merriman takes home eighth. Thomas Adams finishes ninth after that last lap incident. Wesley Lynch finishes in 10th. Dave Stinson in 11th. Alex Finney will finish 12th. Stephen Linger will finish 13th. Joshua Hyatt comes home in 14th. John Anthony finishes 15th. Preston Shepard in 16th. Hunter Geyer in 17th. George Chamopoulos finishes 18th. I think I got that right, George. All right. In 19th, we had Cody Sanderson. Colton Kinney finishes in 20th. 21st was Jonathan Foxworth. Brandon McGraw finishes 22nd. Travis Neiman finishes 23rd. Chris Chamopoulos finishes in 24th. Omar Rodriguez Jr. finishes in 25th. In 26th, we had Casey Flowers. 27th is Cameron Crisson. Jackson Sibley finishes 28th. In 29th, we had Vincent Isabella. Chris Jones finishes 30th. Ethan Straub comes home in 31st. And rounding out your field in 32nd, 55 laps down, was Joseph Truskowski. All right, Maniac Mechanic, I appreciate it. We always try to put on a great broadcast here at Rebel Racing. I would like to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. We will see you back here on Wednesday night for the Third Coast Racing Xfinity Series. And then the NORA Cup Series returns Sunday night for Daytona. And then the following Monday, we are right back here with the ARCA drivers for Iowa. Once again, thank you everyone for stopping by and tuning in. We will see you here on Wednesday. Make sure you hit that like, follow, subscribe button on Facebook and YouTube. Go check us out on Facebook if you've not already. Stay updated on everything Rebel Racing Network and NORA and Third Coast Racing. Until Wednesday night, everyone have a good night.